Most software engineers are trying to win a game that's already over. And the winners, well, they've stopped playing and started building their own. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact mindset shift that separates the top 1% of software engineers, so the ones who build their own category, from everybody else that is still fighting for titles and promotions. And I learned this firsthand. I was a Fortune 500 dev climbing the ladder until I realized that the real leverage wasn't in playing the game harder, rather it was in changing the game completely. And now, after helping hundreds of engineers transition from employees to business owners, I can tell you this. The next few years will split the industry into two. Those who build inside other people's systems and those who build the systems themselves. Your choice is going to be which one you fall into. 5 years ago, being a great engineer meant writing clean code and shipping fast. Today, that's pretty much the bare minimum. Your coding skills are being commoditized by AI and outsourcing. The market stops rewarding effort, and frankly, it now rewards originality. You are currently stuck playing a game that is already over. I mean, take a look at all the Y Combinator startups. Every single one is a copy of the other. So that's why category creators are pulling away. They don't compete in existing markets. They create completely new ones. And here's the wild part. You don't need to invent the next Google or ChatGPT to do this. You just need to build something that positions you as the only logical choice for a very specific problem. Now, the goal isn't to be the best coder in a crowded niche. It's to be the only one who understands a problem deeply enough to define it. Let me explain the difference. A regular software engineer might say something like, okay, what's the fastest way to solve this specific problem? But a category creator would ask, why does this problem even exist in the first place? You see, one question leads to better code, and the other leads to an entire business. And the market will pay exponentially more for people who can define the problem than people who just solve it. Because when you define the problem, you own the category that the problem belongs to. I mean, take a look at companies like Notion or Figma. They didn't just build better software, right? They changed what people believed those tools were for. Notion didn't say, here's a note-taking app and take notes. They said, what if all your documents, tasks, and goals all lived in one connected system? There are entire YouTube channels dedicated to just Notion alone. And that's what you can do at a smaller scale. Every single niche, every single problem has space for the category creator. So every market has what I call surface problems and root problems. A surface problem is what people say out loud, and a root problem is what's actually costing them time, money, or sleep. The difference between a good engineer and a category creator is uncovering what people actually need. And this is where most engineers fail, falling into strategic paralysis because they don't have a clear, validated business idea. They focus entirely on technical feasibility, missing the one question that unlocks value. For example, Damir, a PhD software engineer in our accelerator Code to CEO, was overwhelmed by world-changing ideas and actually admitted.
The business side, yeah, I probably struggle with that.
He was solving the wrong problem. Technical difficulty instead of market need. So the moment you start asking about the root problem, you build automatic trust. For example, a startup might say, well, we need a dashboard to track user behavior. But if you ask a few more questions, you'll realize what the real problem is, which is we don't know why users stop paying after the first month. So the first one sounds like a feature request, but the second one is a business problem. When you can describe somebody's real problem better than they can, they automatically trust you to solve it. That's why people don't buy the best code. They buy the person who best understands their pain. So what you need to do is go out and talk to real business owners in the niche that you want to serve. Don't pitch them, just ask one question. What's the most frustrating part of your workflow right now? And after you've gathered a few real conversations, don't rush to build something. Take a step back and reinterpret what you've just heard. The key question isn't what are people asking for? It's what are they really trying to fix at its core? Because most engineers hit the execution gap here. They lack the soft skills like sales and marketing to actually find that problem. So they default to an existing solution, such as building CRM tools, because they can't articulate the specific pain. So this turns them into another freelancer instead of the only expert. And Sandra, another student, a senior developer from Boston, was actually terrified of sales and social anxiety before realizing her expertise was the product and not her time. So the power of the reframe turns you from a competitor into a category owner. When a client says we waste hours every week organizing data, a regular software engineer might hear, okay, they need a CRM. But a category creator hears, okay, they're losing time from constant context switching. Once again, this reframe turns you from just another CRM builder into the person who kills context switching for small teams. It's the same exact skill, but it's a new category. Now, what you need to do is give that pain a name, give that category a name, something memorable and specific, like let's say the context switching tags. And once you name it, you actually own it. Once you've defined and named the problem, the next move is simple. You need to turn your insight into a system that people can buy. Now, category creators don't sell deliverables. They sell methods. This step directly addresses the engineer's fear of wasting time on low return efforts. If you skip this step, you are stuck selling your time linearly, just like you would in a 9-to-5. When you sell a system, you detach your worth from hourly labor. It's the difference between, let's say, a $50 consultation call and landing a $10,000 project with a monthly retainer like Masa did. So selling the transformation is what creates the exponential return. Instead of saying, I build automation for startups, you'll say, I help startups eliminate the context switching tags. All the time and focus lost from bouncing between tools using a 3-step focus flow system. So it's the same exact work, but it's very different positioning. One makes you into another freelancer, the other makes you the only expert and category creator who owns that problem. So when you productize your perspective, you stop selling your time and you start selling the transformation. So now you've pretty much built your own box, and now you're the only one who really fits inside of it. You're not going to have any big competitors. Because remember, you're not just a regular software engineer anymore. You're the architect of your own category. But here is the final warning for you. This journey begins and ends with finding that initial micro problem to solve. This is the single biggest challenge that paralyzes most software engineers. It's the difference between your technical genius remaining dormant and achieving true financial and time freedom. So to help you overcome this bottleneck and find your micro problem, I've actually put together a free step-by-step 55-page playbook that walks you through my entire process to ideate, validate, and land your very first paying client. It's the exact framework that I wish I had when I first started. And you can get it instantly when you sign up for my free newsletter using the link in the description down below. As always, thank you so much for watching and have a good one.